Hi, this is Peter. I just want to do a short video of something I came up with today in response to not being able to put a rail at a 90-degree angle to the edge of a piece of plywood. Festool doesn't make a dedicated 90-degree fixture for the guide rails. There are some other manufacturers that do. Steve Adams, Quaz, as we know him, has made an accessory. But after thinking about it and accidentally stepping on a plastic speed square yesterday, I came up with an idea in the middle of the night, and it utilizes a product that I've done a video about before, which is Instamorph. And just to make it quick and simple, we'd all have seen speed squares. This is the big one, which is better. And the speed squares have all of these little triangular notches cut into it, which allows you to put a pencil in and scribe a line parallel to the edge of a board. They make great indexing points. Well, what I decided to do was to try and come up with a way that would allow you to use the rail and a speed square together. Well, we can place them like this and they don't work real well. First improvement I did was I took some of the tape that's normally found on the bottom of a guide rail. I have an extra roll. I buy it for this kind of thing to make it so that the triangle doesn't slide as much. And you know what? That actually is kind of this is a rolling cart in my kitchen. So I'm just pressing on there and I'm moving everything. That's a kind of a neat thing even for people who use speed squares. Buy some of the tape. It's great. You'll find other uses for it. But then I decided I would take my old friend Instamorph. I got a little jar for Christmas, about an $18 jar. And you just heat it up in water and then you can mold it. And I've done other videos, but what I decided to do was go ahead and make it so that I could take this little piece of Instamorph, index it in here, snap it in place, and then it slides into the slot on the guide rail. Well, now I have a 90-degree fixture. Pretty secure. Probably would still put my hand here. But remembering the days of becoming a carpenter a couple decades ago, or maybe like 3 decades ago, that's not how we used them. We actually used speed squares from the other side. And we'd put the square over here, and we'd run a circular saw next to it. And you're holding the board towards you, and it just made everything a whole lot easier. Well, the thought process expanded, and what I decided to do is do a different version. So I bought a second speed square. And this one, the plastic doesn't come off. It is actually molded so that it has mushroomed slightly on the back side. I had the tape on before I molded it. So what I have now is a speed square that installs the opposite way, which allows me to, and if you see me fiddling with the tape, I'm sorry, one of the things you have to do with Instamorph, because it will bond to metal, is apply something to make it not stick. And I haven't washed it off. And I just used canola oil spray, kitchen spray. So now what I have is a square out here, which allows me to hold it snugly, run my saw, and the rail doesn't move. Of course, the accuracy is only as good as the accuracy of the speed squares. My guess, because they are now CNC machined, that accuracy is better than what I had when I first started. Let's take it a step further. So let's go ahead and making the assumption that your two sides of your plywood are parallel. We can take our second square, set it in place, and by holding these we can slide it, and the cut edge is going to stay consistently at 90 degrees to the other, and it almost acts as a non-indexable parallel guide system. Wonderful thing about all this is, if you find out it doesn't work, you can take it apart, save it, throw it in a pot of water later on, melt it down, use it for something else. Thought you guys might enjoy this.